how many orders are there for the Envo L90? We're going to be tackling this problem, this question in this video. But first, take a look at this Firefly accident. Oh my God. It really just proves that the Firefly car is extremely safe. Look at the damages that the other car suffered. So no wonder this car got, all G+ rating for the safety test, which is quite spectacular. And also, there's going to be a massive trick up its sleeves for Envo, all right? There's a massive trick up its sleeve. I'll tell you more about this in a little bit, and I'll tell you the math behind it. But first of all, in some of the Envo stores, they have this placard, this little banner that shows, the ultimate destination for EREVs is pure electric car. And a pure electric car, the ultimate destination for pure electric car is an EV that can do battery swap. And at the bottom, it has three core advantages. First of all, no charging anxiety, like you gotta fight for chargers or worry about spending too long to charge and that kind of stuff. So no charging anxiety. Number two, no battery degradation anxiety. With other EVs, you drive for a long time, you're worried about the health of your battery, don't need to worry about that. And then number three, of course, bonus, they said bonus, is lifelong battery warranty. So this is pretty nice, of course, showing the core advantages of this battery swap. But very importantly, it shows that EREV owners are switching to pure electric because they realize they don't really use gasoline that much. Gasoline is much more expensive than EV. They wouldn't use it. Maybe they use gas like once or twice a year. So why not just go EV, right? And also, because it's an EREV, you have to charge more often, and also your charging speed is slower. So it's kind of like, might as well just go the full EV route. So you can tell, this is pretty good marketing right there. So today I actually walked past an Envo store and I was able to, talk to some of the sales reps. They wouldn't give me an exact order number, which is unfortunate. But of course they can't tell you, oh, we got this however many orders. But I was able to pry out some information for you guys. I was like, this store, do you guys have like at least 100 orders for the Envo L90? And they're like, way more than that. Way more than that? Way more than 100? All right, that's pretty damn good. Way more than 100. And it was kind of like they're like, yeah, I can't tell you, but yeah, 100 is a little bit underestimating us kind of vibe. So that kind of tells me, maybe 150, maybe 200, I don't know. But we'll just take that number, 100, okay? And even though we know that this is like sort of like underestimating them, like according to that Envo sales rep, and we multiply that by the number of Envo stores, there's 400 Envo stores, that gives us 40,000 easily, okay? If we take his word that 100 for that particular store, okay, 100 is apparently underestimating them, okay? So taking that estimate, maybe 40,000, okay, and probably even more than that. There are unconfirmed rumors that they had 10,000 like inventory cars of the Envo L90 sold out within 3 hours, and then they had over 30,000 orders within just the first 2 days apparently. So unconfirmed, we won't know for sure, and all the sales reps are like, just wait for the insurance registrations, wait for the August delivery numbers. And July delivery numbers apparently did not include Envo L90, because what they did was they sold the cars on the 31st, but then they were delivered on August 1st in the morning, basically. So that's going to be interesting. August is going to be a full month of Envo L90 deliveries from day 1 to the last day of August. So this is pretty nice. Now, what is this trick up NIO sleeve, or Envo sleeve, so to say? So NIO has really become a master of rehyping things, all right? When things get a little bit cooler, they find a way to rehype things. And they've done that several ways this year. With the Firefly, they first released a car where you could only buy the battery, and then a few months later, they released the version where you can rent the battery, BAS, right, instead of buying the battery, and the price is significantly lower, and that rehyped everything basically, and it's a much more affordable vehicle. So that's one example. The other example, of course, the Champion Edition. When they launched the new 2025 version of the 5566, ET5, ET5T, ES6, EC6, there was no Champion Edition. And then a few months later, they launched the Champion Edition, and then that rehyped things a little bit. Yeah, same with the ET9. They had a new Horizon Edition with cooler rims, that kind of stuff, and rehyped the ET9. So NIO has kind of become a king of rehyping things, and this is going to be the same for Envo. They purposefully only had launched the Envo L90 with the 85 kilowatt hour battery pack because they're going to have the 60 kilowatt hour battery pack very, very soon. Now, the NIO CEO actually said that he drove his Envo L90, well, not his, but the company's Envo L90, with the 60 kilowatt hour battery pack from Anhui's Hefei city, which is where the factory is, down to Hangzhou, which is where they did the Envo L90 launch event. He drove the L90 with the 60 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is very, very interesting. He actually said this in a Q&A session. So you know for a fact that it's 100% compatible, right? It's 100% compatible. The dimensions of the battery are the same. So that just means that they're going to release the 60 kilowatt hour version of the Envo L90 later on in this year as a cheaper, more affordable Envo L90. So what will be the differences be, and when can we expect this to happen? And this will definitely boost sales even further. So right now, the price of the Envo L90 starts at 265.8K RMB, which is roughly about 36.8K US dollars. Okay, and then the difference between the 85 and the 60 kilowatt hour battery pack for the Envo L60 is around 29,000 RMB, which is 4,000 US dollars. So subtract that. That means that the 60 kilowatt hour Envo L90 starting price will just be 236.8K RMB, or 32.8K US dollars. Super, super affordable, super cheap. That's even cheaper than the entry price of a Model Y. So instead of buying the entry price of the Model Y, you can buy the 60 kilowatt hour Envo L90. That's going to be crazy. Now, when are they going to launch this? They have all the cars scheduled out. So right now, August, of course, Envo L90, that's the priority. And then September, they're going to have the ES8 launch along with NIO Day. And then October, they're going to have the Envo L80 launch. So, and then give or take maybe 2 more months, I think probably by December, the last month of the year, just to really ramp up sales, they're going to launch the 60 kilowatt hour versions of the Envo L90 and L80 to boost sales for the end of the year. So that is what I think the pacing will be like for this 60 kilowatt hour version. But it's definitely going to happen, and it's going to be cheaper, more affordable without actually cutting the price. So you're not really backstabbing existing Envo owners, right? Existing Envo owners are like, oh no, the car's cheaper. That's cheaper because it's a smaller battery, smaller capacity battery, right? So it's not going to make anybody upset. So this is very interesting. They got this trick up their sleeves. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Envo's delivery numbers. This is going to be pretty good. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.